Hello, and welcome back to the How to Make That series. Today, what we're going to be making is an English muffin with a fried duck egg on top. So let's get into this. And right now, I just turned my pan onto a sort of medium heat, so that's just going to be enough heat to kind of lightly cook the eggs. And I was just checking to see if it was getting up to temperature at that point. So I'm going to take this English muffin here, and we're going to go ahead and open it up. And as I struggle to get it back onto the bag and close it up. So yeah, so we're going to open this up, and we're going to place this directly into the toaster. So look at that nice aeration right there. Let's place this into our toaster, and I got this cool retro style looking toaster. Although it is made out of plastic, I still think that it looks nice. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. We're going to throw it down. It's at a medium toast setting, so it's not going to be burnt, but it's also not going to be kind of toasted, but not really toasted, that some people kind of like. I don't know. I prefer my toast to be toasted or kind of slightly on the burnt side of the dial. So we got some fresh duck eggs here, as the packaging claims to be. So I'm only going to take 2 of these, and in my non-stick skillet, if you don't have a non-stick, I'd advise putting some more oil into the pan before starting this. I'm going to crack 2 eggs into here as the pan is kind of heating up. So we got 1 egg into the pan, and the first one goes in quite easily. So we got that in there, and that is a large yolk. Look at that. And sorry for the mess on the stove there. I haven't cleaned up before filming this video, but you know, that's cooking. I've cleaned it up afterwards. Now this one I struggle to get open, so I'm going to finally get it out. Yeah, there we go. We got that out there. We didn't break any yolks, so I'm pretty happy about that. So what we're gonna do is throw away those eggshells, set them aside, and we're going to crack some nice fresh pepper on there. Now I do need to refill my pepper grinder here, and I do plan on getting a upgraded pepper grinder. I'm always out on the lookout in the thrift stores for one of those classic spinning ones where you kind of crank a dial and it churns it out. But you know, the crankshaft style is also fine. I kind of hate this one. It's starting to not grind as well, and as you can see, I'm still talking about it. That's how long it takes to ground that much pepper. There's not much there. It's very sparse and nothing ever comes out. So now that I've got the pepper done there, we're gonna throw in some salt eventually, I think. No, we're still not done. We're still grinding this pepper. I swear I need to buy an upgrade for that. All right, so I'm going to get some salt, just kind of put it on top of the yolks there, and then just flick it around everywhere and make a huge mess. And now I'm gonna take some olive oil and put it around the perimeter of the eggs. Now this is just to give the perimeter of the egg something to fry in, so it's some oil that they'll fry and crisp up in. And what we're gonna do is cover that with any lid. Now I'm using the oversized lid for this because that pan didn't come with one, so you know, it doesn't need to have a perfect seal on it. And during that time, the English muffins have finished toasting in the oven. And that cool fire hazard right there with the nice cord dripping over that hot toaster. Very good, very good. All right, so now we're gonna just take some QP mayonnaise, and we're just gonna lather it everywhere, put it literally all over the place. Even if it doesn't get on to the English muffin, that's fine. You just want as much as you can get, because this stuff is gold. It's amazing. And then we're gonna also put in some hot sauce. Now the hot sauce is there for kind of a hot vinegary flavor to add to the creamy yolkiness of the yolk plus the QP mayo. I put a lot on there because it tastes great. And now what I'm gonna do is get some cheese. Now I would recommend getting a slightly more melted cheese. Anything like a mozzarella or anything that'll just melt as soon as it comes into any sort of contact with heat. Even Kraft singles, you know, I won't judge. It melts well. It's great. It has specific properties that let it just kind of melt and be the perfect melty cheese. That's why it's used on American cheeseburgers, because it just melts really well. This stuff doesn't, but it still has a nice sharp taste, which is still pretty good, and it did not detract from the meal at all. So now we have let this cook for about 4-ish minutes here, maybe 5. I'm zooming in so you can see that the sides are bubbling, and we're just gonna wait for those to get nice and crispy right there. And you can see that the yolk on the top actually started to solidify around the top, not near the bottom of the pan where it's closer to, but on the top. That's what the lid is there for. It's so that the top cooks and you don't get any of that uncooked whites on the eggs. Although it will overcook your yolk if you let it on there for too long or if it's too strong. But in this case, I'm totally fine with that, and it looks delicious. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove this pan lid and take a close look here. So we got some nice bubbling going on. I'm just going to slosh around with the olive oil to get it, make sure it's coating everywhere. And oh no, my eggs, they're not free. They're sticking to the pan. I thought this was non-stick. I don't know. I guess I'll just let it sit there for a little while, or maybe I'll just shake it more violently. We'll find out. So now we're going to go ahead and lift up the pan, and then what you're going to want to do here is check and see how well the bottom is browned. So that had some good color on the bottom, which means that the egg is fully cooked there, and it should be easy to release as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat here, and what we're going to do is cut this egg up to fit nicely on our egg McMuffin with cheese. Our English muffin with cheese. Man, I always say egg McMuffin. You'd think McDonald's would sponsor me, but no. So I'm just going to fast forward through this part. You can see that I do a terrible job of cutting because, you know, I want this to fit on a circular, you know, style thing. But, you know, the way I cut it, it just didn't work out. So what I'm going to do is just take those extra bits of egg and put it directly underneath the yolk when I set it onto the sandwich, and that should be great. And, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and plate both of these and admire how good those duck eggs look. They taste amazing. Basically the same as a regular egg, just a little bit bigger. I wouldn't say that they're to die for, but you know, it definitely doesn't hurt to use it. You can use regular eggs with this recipe as well, and it's perfectly fine. So you can see I'm gonna try and get this nice crispy egg right there. That gave such a good crunch there as well. It was so good. And that's basically how you make a very easy English muffin egg breakfast sandwich. You know, you just take a bite of that, let it be messy, and it'll get everywhere because that yolk is just going to come out like a hot volcano. So yeah, make sure that you give it a little bit of time to chill before you bite into that delicious English muffin sandwich right there, and give it a whirl. I hope that you check out this recipe and make it on your own. Let me know in the comments how it turns out, and I'm just gonna let the rest of this video play out, and you can take a look at what I've made here. It's not the most fancy thing, but I hope it'll do.